If you can't stop thinking about her or him, it's not because they're the one. I know it feels like it is, but it's because your brain got hijacked by this idea, by an old wound, and it thinks that they are the medicine. It thinks that she's the medicine or that he's the medicine, but they're not. You are. And then in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why. So let's paint the picture here. Let's set the scene. She walked away, or he walked away, or maybe you got ghosted, just completely, like as if you didn't exist at the end of that relationship. Maybe they breadcrumbed you just enough to keep hope alive. And just when you got excited that maybe things were going to turn around, they disappeared again. But now you're stuck and you're thinking about them and you're obsessing and you're ruminating and you can't sleep and you're not eating and you're not taking care of yourself and you're barely functioning. You're dreaming about them and there's an ache inside of you, like an emptiness and a void. And I want to talk about that void and emptiness because it has nothing to do with that person. And I cannot stress that enough. It feels like it's about that person. If I could just get that person back, then my heartache would go away. Then everything would be good. But that's simply not the truth. This person is pointing you back to yourself. This person is showing you where the wounds are. Because no matter how much time passes, unless you truly do the inner work to heal, you're going to keep cycling back and circling back to that person. Your mind will bring you back to that person thinking they're the medicine. But today I want to show you why that is. And spoiler alert, as I've said, it's not really about her. It's not really about him. It's about you and what your heart has been craving and needing for a very long time. What that inner child needs from you in order to truly heal so that you start choosing more appropriate partners, better partners, healthier partners, more loving partners, more self-aware partners, people who are actually going to be there through thick and thin. For those of you new to the channel, please have a look around. I'm Sarah. I'm a mindset mastery coach, transformational hypnotherapist, and attachment style specialist. And I help people heal from confusing, unfinished love stories, especially the ones that left you with more questions than answers. So if you're struggling to let go of someone who couldn't show up, if you're stuck in the throes of confusion or heartache, and you just feel like you're desperate to get that person back or desperate to understand why, then stick around because we're going to go deep today. And we're ending with a short guided hypnosis to help your nervous system release its grip on this person. And guys, hypnosis is a powerful tool in my tool belt that I love sharing. And I'm going to be sharing more hypnosis sessions on my channel, so stay tuned. So here's the thing that most people don't realize. When someone pulls away, especially someone with dismissive, avoidant, anxious tendencies, and maybe someone who felt like a soulmate, your brain registers that loss as a threat, as abandonment. And if you've got an anxious attachment style, your system will go into protest mode. It simply will not be able to accept that it's over. It won't be able to accept the ending. It will not be able to accept anything because you're going to feel like it's not on my terms. And that when your mind starts scanning for ways to get them back and replaying everything and obsessing over what you could have said or done differently or how to get them back, how to make them see and understand your perspective, you're going to drive yourself into the ground. You're going to drive yourself crazy. I've been there. And I'm telling you, there's nothing more freeing than being able to walk away and still, of course, feel sad and even heartbroken, even broken for a period of time and confused. But being able to pick yourself up off the ground and put yourself back together like Humpty Dumpty. But you get to do that for yourself because there's no more reaching outside of us for somebody to save us. You are the person you've been looking for. You are the savior for your inner child. So you're not actually addicted to them. You're addicted to the possibility of closure. You're also addicted to replaying this story from your childhood with mom or dad or a similar caretaker that you just couldn't finish in the way that you hoped. So whatever you needed from mom or dad that you didn't get, whether that was emotional closeness or intimacy, being seen, feeling heard, feeling understood, feeling respected, feeling valued, any number of things, you're going to search for that in a partner and you're going to try to get it. And this is all happening on a subconscious level. We're not consciously walking around hoping that we meet another person, another avoidant, or another person who's going to hurt us in the long run. but we're subconsciously seeking out that which we know. And usually it's chaos. And if you're used to chaos, whether it's in the form of emotional neglect or actual abuse, you will seek that out and that will feel familiar and safe. And what won't feel familiar and safe is an actual healthy, secure partnership or a healthy person. That's the answer to why am I bored by nice, good, loving, healthy, secure partners? That's the answer. It's an inner child wound that needs to be addressed and needs to be healed. You're also addicted to this need to be seen, of finally getting that moment where this person turns around and says to you, I'm sorry, you mattered, our story mattered, I just couldn't love you the way that you deserved. But the truth is you might never get that apology. You might never get that explanation from this person. So you're really not choosing that person. Let me explain this a little bit more or in a different way. You're seeking validation. You're chasing validation that you mattered. It's validation that you've been craving since child. So let's talk about the younger version of you, the one who was overlooked or neglected or abandoned or emotionally dismissed. I want to talk to that version of you. Maybe you had to be the strong one. Maybe you at a young age had to be, the man of the family, or maybe you had to in some way grow up before your time. Maybe you learned early that love equals chasing, or that love equals abandonment or rejection, or that love equals medals and souvenirs or accolades or something, or merit or grades or any number of things. Or that being needed was the closest thing to being loved, right? So that often comes to the parentified child, the child that has to grow up and actually become mom or dad because mom or dad has an addiction or they're simply not capable of being the adult and being the parent that you needed. So then you become the parent for your parent and probably for your siblings and yourself as well. So when this person, this avoidant person pulled away from you, they didn't just break your heart, they reactivated your earliest childhood wounds, the earliest pain that you would have felt that you probably don't even consciously remember. That little boy inside of you or little girl inside of you didn't just lose her or him. He or she felt like, I lost everything again. I lost it all again. And all of that pain, see that pain you're feeling now from that heartache that you think is just from this one heartache is from all the experiences of heartache and pain and devastation and loss and abandonment and rejection that you've ever felt in your entire life. And every time we experience it, it gets more and more painful and more powerful. That's why your brain won't and can't let go yet. Not because they were the perfect partner. Maybe you know deep down that you don't even match, that you don't even want to be with this person. Not because the love was healthy or the partnership was great, but because their absence reopened a gaping wound that's still bleeding. There's a scar over that wound, but that wound has now been reopened. And we have to address that wound or it's going to continue to get deeper and deeper. You will continue attracting the same person over and over in a different body until you heal this wound so that you no longer need to feel validated from something or someone outside of you. The healing is never going to come from that person returning. I know it feels like it will, but I'm telling you it won't because they're simply not capable of giving you what you need or deserve. It's going to come from you turning inward and looking at yourself, from giving your younger self, that inner child, that version of you, what they never got: safety, nurturing, and presence. So I know what it's like to wait for somebody to return with an apology that never comes. Some of you guys have been following my story. And I actually wrote my ex-husband a letter about 2.5 months ago. And he got back to me briefly in a very avoidant, kind of dismissive way. And it was interesting because he said, I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you. I'm going to get back to you. And then he didn't get back to me. Now, conceivably, feasibly, he still could. But I'm not waiting on that getting back to you because A, it's been weeks, months, but also he doesn't owe me that. And I don't need that any longer. I did not send that letter to get something in return. I sent that letter because I was finally at a place where I was at peace within myself. I was no longer at war with myself or even with him. That's the only time I really recommend writing a letter to your avoidant ex, is when you know you're in a place of empowerment within yourself. But the interesting thing is even if he came with an apology at this point, I don't need it. It's not required, nor would it change anything. So you have to give yourself that apology. You have to be able to forgive yourself for staying in places where love isn't served. And waiting for them to make it right keeps you from becoming the version of you who no longer needs them to. It's not about forgetting them or erasing the story. It's about remembering you, remembering that inner child that's standing there as the house is burning, metaphorically speaking, or there's a tidal tsunami wave coming and they're like, hello, are you coming to save me or not? I'm so tired. I'm so scared. Where are you? That inner child, this pain you're feeling is your inner child screaming to be heard. You can't keep abandoning yourself to try and be chosen. Making peace with the fact that this person couldn't meet you is going to do enormous amounts of goodness for you. So let's drop into something powerful now. So if you need to, pause the video because we're about to go into a short guided hypnosis session. And I want you to be comfortable in a nice chair or couch. Sitting, preferably not laying down, and comfortable clothes. And we're going to drop into this peaceful place together to help you begin releasing this person and reconnecting with a part of you that deserves so much more than crumbs, so much more than confusion and question marks. So get ready. I'll be back with you in a moment and we'll get started. All right, welcome back. So have a seat and get comfortable and start to connect in with your breath. And I find it's really helpful to place your hands on your belly or diaphragm. I'll place one hand on my belly or diaphragm and one hand on my heart. And I want you to notice as you start to take these deeper breaths, how you start to turn inward, how you start to become more present, how it's impossible to focus on your breath and also focus on a thought or an emotion or something from the past. And when it feels comfortable and natural, go ahead and allow your eyes to close. And I'll be right here with you, guiding you the entire way. And if at any time something feels uncomfortable, feel free to open your eyes. You can always get regulated and come back when you're ready. This is a safe space of presence where you're going to connect with that inner child for just a moment in time and remind them that you're here for them. Taking a deep breath in once more and just let it out slowly through your mouth. Some of you will know the Ujjayi breath from yoga, so you're welcome to engage that Ujjayi breath. You're welcome to exhale through your mouth or through your nose. I want you to start to realize that you are more than just this body. You are more than your thoughts. You are more than your emotions. You're more than your past, your experiences, your labels. And you're more than this relationship. You're a powerful creator. And as you breathe in again, allow your shoulders to drop. Just allow them to drop away from your ears. Maybe gently squeeze the shoulder blades together. Allow your eyes to totally relax so that your eyelids are heavy now. And now allow your jaw to soften, softening all those muscles of the jaw, the mouth. Notice where you may have been holding on to tension in the neck or jaw or shoulders, or even forehead, right? Crown of the head, between the eyes here, the nose. And I want you to imagine for a moment that there's a warm, inviting, soft light, and it's beginning to cascade from the crown of your head all the way down your body, moving through all your energy centers, all your organs, all your muscles and tendons and ligaments, down through your extremities, your fingers and toes. And it can be any color that your mind's eye can imagine, a calming, soothing, healing color. And this light, this healing, energetic light, continues to release down your body, just in spirals, just like time, right? Time is spiraling, helping you to get more into the moment. And I want you to continue to relax, being guided by the sound of my voice as you go deeper and deeper and deeper down. And then you know that it's safe to allow your conscious mind to just relax for a moment in time. While I speak to your unconscious mind, that deeper, instinctive, intuitive part of your being. I'd like to speak to that unconscious mind now. So you can ask them to step forward, and you can continue just relaxing and learning in whatever way is good for you. You're going to be aware of events that occur along the way here in this hypnosis, fully present and also fully relaxed, fully immersed in this experience. And I want you to imagine now, I want you to picture a version of yourself, maybe 3 to 7 years old, maybe 10. There's no right or wrong way to do this. So whatever version of you appears, that's the version that needs to be healed most. And I want you to see him or her clearly now in your mind's eye. Notice what this version of you is wearing. Notice how they talk. Your eyes are closed, your eyelids are still heavy, and you're fully supported by the surface beneath you as you go deeper and deeper down. I want you to notice how he or she is standing or sitting. There's something in his eyes or her eyes, an ache or a question or a longing to be seen, a desire that's so deep, so profound that you can feel it in your gut. You can feel it in your heart. And I want you to connect to this feeling now. And not out of shame, but so you can release this feeling, so you can reconnect to that inner child that's having this experience, so you can release it together. He or she's been waiting for your presence, been waiting for you to come online, waiting to be chosen, waiting to be told you're not too much. You're so enough. You're not too needy. You are wanted here. You belong here just as you are. So go ahead and have a conversation with that inner child. And if there's some resistance, because there sometimes is, because your absence has been felt for so long from this inner child, then I want you to give that child the reassurance that he or she needs. Perhaps it's a hug, but sometimes it might be a little bit of distance. And then maybe you can step forward gently, slowly, 1 foot at a time, just letting them become used to your presence because there's been an absence and a gap for so long. And if there's an invitation from this inner child, I'd like you to walk over to them now. Kneel down beside them. And I want you to say this gently, out loud or in your mind. I see you. I've been searching for you in all of these people and all of these experiences. You didn't do anything wrong. You're safe now. You're so loved. I will protect you and I will never leave you again. I've got you. You're safe. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Now I'd like you to picture that person that you've been holding on to, the man or the woman, the one who left you uncertain, with questions, no answers, with confusion, with heartache, with pain, the one who couldn't or wouldn't choose you. And I want you to envision them clearly in your mind's eye. And imagine now putting space and distance between you and them, not in anger, not in bitterness or resentment, but with peace, with calmness, with neutrality, maybe even with love. And I want you to say to that man or woman, I release you now. I release our story. And I no longer need you to understand what I went through. I no longer need your apology or explanation. I no longer need you to come back. I choose me now. This is my choice, and I choose it powerfully and clearly. You may go now. Thank you for all that you have given me. Thank you for all the lessons and all the love. And I now release the pain. And what's mine is mine, and what's yours is yours. And I release what's yours back to you, and I will keep what's mine. Thank you. Now place your hand over your heart. Feel your heartbeat beneath your hand. Feel and experience your own breath. and feel the strength of the man or woman that you are today, because, not in spite of, but because what happened, because of all the heartache and pain that you have experienced. You have more compassion, more empathy, more understanding, more love to offer yourself and your future partner. And say this to yourself now: I am not abandoned. I am returning home to me. Follow your breath in and out. Notice what you notice, see what you see, hear what you hear, and feel what you feel. And just allow. And now let the younger version of you climb into your arms if that's what they need. And let them become one with you, whole, safe, and loved. Take one final last deep breath in through the nose, releasing perhaps with a sigh, on the exhale. Just releasing whatever needs to go, providing space for that, compassion for the release. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, come back to the space that you're in, come back to the chair or the couch or the room that you're in. And before you start to open your phone or do anything in your day, just take a couple moments of presence here and sit with what you just experienced. Perhaps journal, perhaps take a nap, perhaps go outside in the sunshine, let the sun touch your skin, whatever you feel called to do. Perhaps take a bath. And remember that that ache that you felt was never about getting that person back. It was about coming home to you right here. That inner child that's been desperate for your attention, your time, your energy, your love, your compassion, your understanding. And if this resonated, I invite you to explore more with me. I offer one-on-one sessions, and I have a link below to my discovery calls, a free 20-minute discovery call. And I also have exciting things that are unraveling. One of them will be an online course that I'm actually working on today. And I cannot wait. It's called the Closure Course, and I cannot wait to share that with you. There'll be an online version you can do in the comfort of your own home. And you can also have access to me with questions. And then there's going to be a live version, where we will have calls together and a beautiful supportive community. I find that community is one of the most powerful things about a group. It's the thing that I come back to again and again. So I've decided to include community in that. We'll go deeper into healing those avoidant wounds, right? From avoidant partners, releasing the obsession and ruminating, and really just coming together in a beautiful way. Learning to choose yourself is what we're doing first and foremost. And hey, if no one's told you already, you are worth being chosen, and you belong here, and you belong at every table and every room that you walk into. And I want you to get that understanding now. And it starts with you choosing yourself first. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.